Hello. I'm getting ready for work, so just wanted to pop on here. And not even pop on here. I don't even think I'm posting this. This is just me recording. I hear, yes, you're posting this. Ah. Okay, so I'm holding the phone, guys. I have to get myself together. So, I believe that, I don't know, I think it's healthcare. So those of us who are still in the workforce, whatever place you're in, you're supposed to you're supposed to change it. Because I'm in healthcare, and healthcare, guys, listen, all I know is if you're working in healthcare, no matter what the position, you have to want to be there. You have to want to be there. And if you don't want to be there, you need to move over and make room for those who do. Because there are people who actually want to care for people. They care if you, this is the patient, let's say has in my, facility, MASD, which is almost like diaper rash. So, again, any of us who have had children, hot diggity dog. Do they not, aren't they like screaming bloody hell? So imagine an adult with that burning sensation. You have a brief on, you're sitting in this chair all day. You know what I mean? And then let's say you ask your caretaker to put you back to bed. And this witch loses her shit. She gets upset. She makes you feel bad, makes you feel guilty. Now, again, we're all attracting this, the person, the resident, right? We understand that we're all creating our reality. But all I'm saying is, in healthcare, you have to want to be there. It's not going to work any other way. It's not going to work. The job asks of you to be honest, to be proactive, to take initiative. You have to be very caring. And a lot of you are not. And if you are, you're overwhelmed because you're not happy there. So then, do you see how it's a vicious cycle? All I'm saying is, if we start doing what we want, working where we would like to work, where we would prefer to work, like, it will put you in a better mood. You're not gonna, you wouldn't be upset if you were asked to do something. It wouldn't bother you if you ended up to you had to stay an extra 15, 20 minutes or more. Some of us do more. Like, you're that giving. Sometimes you feel like, man, I might as well live here. Like, you love what you do. I love what I do. I love care. What I don't love is, and I'm not, do we talk about what we don't love anymore? Or just focus on what we do love? And me, my role for myself every day, because this is self-work, guys, every day. You got to do it. It's like, it doesn't like stay. You don't like, oh, I understand this. And then it like you have to deal with life. At least at the stage where I'm at, I still have to deal with what's coming at me day to day. So I have choices all day, every day. And I've realized that I have been focusing on what everyone isn't doing and why I feel as though, how is it that you still work here? Like, I ask those a lot more than I should be looking at what is working. And I do. For the most part, guys, I do, to be honest. But I'm just saying, because I know who I am, and because that means, you know, I know who you are because I know who I am. Whatever type of job you're in, that's where you spread the light. That's where you be yourself, like unapologetically. So your lingo has to change. Your response to things, you can no longer like smile and nod, even though you know on the inside. Granted, the universe knows what you mean, not what you say, right? Key. But like, look at what you're doing to yourself, like the discord you're causing. You're confusing your own self. Whereas if you just followed what your intuition said, right? Which is usually like, it's like you hear it. I don't know. We'll put it to practice. I don't want to confuse anybody. It's the work that I'm doing on a day-to-day. But I only popped on here because I wanted to bring that up. About like being in places where we actually want to be. Places that, you know, at least now for the most part, bring you some sort of like joy or happiness. There's moments where you laugh. It's not like an uptight place, and you have, you know, you could be on your phone, like there's no bosses on you, like there's things to kind of like, oh, this isn't too bad, you know. You have parking, you know, some places have shuttles. I guess little things like that. Like, I believe when I'm saying I make my choices, that's the same thing for you. It's like, let's go that way, right? Acknowledge what's wrong, which I, you know, have done just for shits and giggles. Like, I cannot wait to kind of really speak to someone when it comes to healthcare. I cannot be the only one, guys. There are some people in there, it's just like, and it's like with me, because I know who I am, I feel their pain. Like, I get it. This one lady, she literally is taking care of her paralyzed husband. She's older. Boy, is she on, whew, she's like a ticking time bomb. And I've approached her, and she's had moments with me where I've spoken to her, because clearly I've gravitated towards her, you know, which means something for me. Like, hello, I don't like everyone. Like, I don't feel that, like, it's like a sweet, it's an endearing, hey, you know, closeness I feel with certain people. And she was one of them, you know. I pulled her in my office, we spoke. She cried, you know. I was like, wow, you know, she's going through a lot. And she comes to work carrying all that. Defense mode, I mean, whew. And then it's in front of the residents are like, she like has these moments, and I'm just like, wow, you know, because I understand this, right? So I'm looking at what she's doing. So that too. Look at it, and that's it. You say, well, you know, you gotta, so you can stay aligned. You gotta just, at least for me. But I don't know. I just wanted to share that, y'all. Oh, and then another thing, right? So how about an attitude of, well, at least, like, well, at least, and then fill in the blank, right? I have a headache, right? You take the medication, you're sitting, the headache, right? But like, well, at least, and then fill in the blank, right? I woke up this morning. Well, at least I was able to have my cup of coffee, or, like, distract yourself maybe, right? Because that's what I was thinking about. And it's like, how I'm thinking of, like, how can we break this down so that if you have stuff going on, if you're not where you want to be, if you haven't received the relief that you're desiring, you need to have an attitude of, well, at least, and then fill in the blank. That's the thought that came to me. I haven't put it into practice. I mean, I do, but I haven't approached it from that angle. Well, at least, and then fill in the blank. So you're having a rough day, and then you throw in a, well, at least. So that'll just, like, it kind of bumps you. It takes you from bad day to kind of like up the thought of, like, well, at least. I don't know. Put it to work. Try it. It feels nice. It feels nice, and that's the whole point. The whole point is sustaining that feeling of nice, feeling of things working out, feeling of, all right, the boat's leaking, but I'm trusting, right? Even in that case, right? Well, at least the holes aren't that big. Well, at least there's not that many holes. Well, at least we're not far from the shore. Well, at least, at least we all could swim, look on the bright side in whatever situation, right? So I could sit here and talk about healthcare and everything that is going wrong. But my role is to, today, what is working, Danny? And I have a lot that's working. Man, I did a good job with this one, guys. It's a great place. It really is. The support, like, here's the key. Oh my God. Like, not key. Here's the kicker, right? I went from a position, right? Before I stopped working, I went from a position where I felt like I had the world on my shoulders. You know what came to mind? I remember my coworker, one of my coworkers. I'd be feeling so much, right? And this person would be in their office on their phone, and it would spin in the chair, just la. I was like, oh my God! Only to be in a place now. I mean, when I say, man, the support, the compassion, like the true, like, hey, how are you? Hey, let me help you with that. And then to help you with that, they just do it. The little fairies that are behind the scenes that clear my dashboard. It's just like whatever team they had in place prior to me getting there. Boy, when I tell you, everyone's so nice, friendly. You know what I mean? Yeah, they do care. But I promise you, the environment will thrive more when there's more people who are on the same page, right? And that's the beauty of living on earth, right? There's like the good and the bad, the negative and the positive, right? What we call good people, bad people, right? I mean, that's just how we're here. We're like judging, right? We're choosing, right? As we move along, as life comes at us, we're choosing. How am I going to react to this? Choices all the time. How would I prefer this situation to play out? And then only think about that, the solution. Like, don't go back, right? So anyway, I have to get myself together. So as much as I enjoy these time, yeah. Toodles. Bye, guys.